has his things on his face.
If you have an iPhone, see, if you have Google, you just type in G and it comes up.
Alrighty, we are set.
I don't know.
He'll be
I'm gonna go ahead and
I
call the
like
meeting.
picking on iPhone too.
Call this finance and legislation meeting to order. Mr. Bass?
I'm here.
Mr. Ballack? Here. Mr. Bigley is here. One piece. Mayor, do you want to speak on it at all? You and the SSD. It is an ordinance
Kale.
authorizing.
Kale.
Kale.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm like, wait a second. So this is, just kind of housekeeping, this is something that we've done, this will be our third year now with KO Consulting. The contract stayed exactly the same with the cost, with the limit of 28,000 split the same way it was last year, so everything stayed the same. We would like to implement this again this year. We have a list on the board in my office, and any of you are free to come in and look at it, but they've already submitted a ton of grants that we're waiting on responses from. We met with all the department heads a few weeks ago and went over their wants and not necessarily their needs. We have budget meetings with Christy next week. So there's a lot of different grant applications that we want to submit for the different departments for like a
Did
wish
you
list
get
kind of
that backwards? You went over their wants, not their needs, or
Their
their.
wants.
We went over their wants, so we can apply, well, their needs too.
Okay.
But we have
I'm
to
sorry.
supply them their needs.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's why I was just.
Their wants, if they get a good grant or something, we'll go ahead and look in
Sure.
purchase it,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of needs that we're looking for wastewater too with those grants.
You're looking
So
for grants through those.
Yes, yeah, for all of those, so, but it was more or less, are there things that we don't necessarily do on a budget and that this year we're not gonna go for, if there's options for different things, like, we have one out for a splash pad for flock security cameras, that was for the police department, side-by-sides for police and fire, we may be getting something through Representative Petrona for drones for both departments, just a lot of,
Senior van, new
Senior
front
van.
loader, just whatever we can.
Yeah.
yeah. So we
Yeah,
would
if
like
it's out
to,
there, we
and
could might as well try and get it.
yeah, and this is something we could put, we don't have to, this isn't an emergency thing, so we can put it through 3 readings if you guys want to put it through 3 readings.
Satisfied with what they are being reimbursed when they go for these grants? Because they get money, they get paid for the
Yes.
grant.
Yeah, but
Their
up to,
fees
only
come
up
Up to
to
12%.
Right.
yes, only up to that 28,000,
So
anything more
they're
has to be approved by
satisfied
council,
with
yeah.
that being the situation?
Yes, and I did ask them, I said, do you want to increase this year? And they said, no, we're good at
We
what we're
gave a
at.
big increase last year, or a healthy size increase last year.
Yes, but it
So-
was well
Yeah, I'm not
deserved.
complaining
As long
about it.
as
I'm
they
just saying
keep
that was.
getting
I
us
think this.
grants
Sure,
and
yeah.
they
Fair.
keep proving their
Yeah.
worth.
Sure.
Well,
I'm
the way that I
really-
understand it, the 28,000 covers their payroll, their people who have
Yes.
hours into these
Yeah,
grants that we may or may
yeah,
not
yeah.
get. And then their actual pay is the 12% that when they do get these grants. So
Yes.
I would feel like this is a good deal for everybody, and I would also feel like it's probably a deal that will work for years to come without really worrying about too much of an increase. Maybe small amounts here or there as cost of living goes up, employees'
Sure, yeah.
expenses go up, but that's a pretty fair deal,
Yeah.
I would say, and I think it's worked very well for us. One thing, splash pad, if you do get funded for that,
Yes,
I don't ask to be involved in a lot of things, but the splash pad I would like to, just because I have extensive knowledge on it because we had looked into it prior,
okay.
and I had looked into getting one at my house. So I do have quite a bit on it. I would love to be a part of
Okay, we haven't had a meeting for a very long time. We were waiting for a couple of these applications to open up. I know Bob Clyde, you were with us the last meeting we had. I think both of you were, when we were down at Monty. So
Mhm.
that was actually the last meeting we had.
it. And
Megan
Bob
came
actually
in.
had a company come in
We had,
with,
yep,
yeah,
we had 2 companies come in. So you,
I do. And
That was
I
our last
was,
meeting
it was
we
something that
had.
was very interesting to me, so I
Yeah.
did look into it a lot more. And they do even sell residential ones that we had looked into
Yeah.
putting in our house, so I did have to do quite a bit of research
Yep.
on it. So I would like to be part of it.
absolutely. Yep, that's not a problem. But we're just waiting for the.
Sure,
to get
if it
feedback
comes
from
through,
them.
yeah, that's
Yep.
all.
But he did, I think Bob got 2 recent, because one of them we had to update the quote, so we have 2 quotes that they had to submit with the grant application,
Okay.
so.
And that would be at Marthy?
That would be at Mothy, and it would be very plain, it would be in the back part of the play area. I think it was 30 by 50, so just a plain rectangle. We would add seating and things along the side with like concrete cement pillars where people could sit, but no structures, no
Yeah.
big
Well, that's where you
waterfalls or
really
anything.
get
It's
into the hard
literally
cost.
just- Yeah, and
That-
we've
that's where
talked
you
to
really get
Niles,
the
we've
cost.
talked to Warren, we've talked to all these other places, and they said, Kat, if you could stay away from that stuff, make it plain and simple, stay away from it, cause they've had problems with vandalism.
Sure.
And that's something we already have
Yeah.
somewhat of an issue there.
So you're just gonna be doing more jets out of the ground.
That's
Then,
all,
you know.
it's just gonna be very
For
plain.
little kids to run through and have a good time.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
all.
sure, and adults.
You start getting those mushroom things, everything else, people start spraying paint.
Yeah.
And breaking them,
And
and then they're
if
down, and then
you
it's a hazard,
looked
and you
into
have to
what
rope
them
it
things
off.
actually cost, or
Oh,
if you
yeah.
remember,
Absolutely.
like, one of the mushrooms was like 20 grand.
Yes.
Like,
Never
they're,
mind.
they're not, you know,
We'll get them coming out.
yeah, I mean, we're just, I think
Yeah.
that's
And we
perfect.
wanna see what the grant application, cause the one we applied for, I think it was 100%. Obviously, or we'd have to bring it to you guys to approve any matching or anything like that, but we're also looking at trying to bring in sponsors for that as well.
Plus,
So-
those things, you know, we get a grant to put this in, we're still responsible for the maintenancing it for years and years to come.
Yep.
So the more you get into those structures, the more in cost we may incur moving forward, which, if we keep it plain, it'd be a lot easier to maintain.
And there's different, we
I'm
met
sure
with
you
Mill
two
Creek.
could teach us how to make our own.
We met with the one on Rocky Ridge, and there was some different pieces of advice that we pulled from them, from Niles, from Warren, where they said stay away from the structures. One of them was stay away from the in-ground, like the motor, filter.
system.
Theirs was in the ground, so anytime they had to do work, they were laying on their stomach trying to,
Sure.
so they said stay away from that. It's easier just to put a
A
box.
building up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you have to have a reservoir and everything,
Yeah.
right? The kits that we seen back then, now, this is 3 years
Right,
ago, so
small,
it may have
it-
changed.
So
but-
if they-
Because a lot of
Structures,
water
be a little bar-
recirculates,
a
so
little-
you don't
Yeah.
need a big,
Shed,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah,
And Mayor, is that something you would probably reach out to Aqua and see that if
Already
we can
did.
get,
yeah.
you know, free water for that?
Yeah, I talked to Jen briefly about it, and she said they would be willing to do that, but I think because we didn't go back to Struthers Day, I think they used to make a pretty large donation for that,
Sure.
and this would be something that would almost replace their donation for that.
Okay.
So it's still, we're gonna, even if we don't get the grant, we're gonna try to figure out different ways to piece sponsorships together or something
Sure.
like that.
Very good. Okay, so as far as KO, anybody have any questions?
And they should be coming to council soon. We're hoping to give an update on everything with stage 3. We're gonna be moving into stage 4 for the comprehensive plan, and then we should be complete by the end of March with that. So that's pretty exciting.
Great. Okay. An ordinance authorizing the Marriage Safety Service Director to enter into a contract with KO Consulting LLC for grant services for calendar year 2023. Now, this is not have an emergency clause, so this will go to 3 readings. Motion to bring it
I'll
up.
make a motion to bring it up.
Second?
Second.
That's it for legislation. Anybody have anything else for this committee?
I do, and it's a very quick thing, and this is more of like a discussion, so it's not in a legislation piece. Talked with Chrissy, talked with Bob. I'm gonna read over it and then I can pass this around. Again, this is just for discussion to see what you guys think. The Small Business Facade Grant Program application. The city would like to offer a 50% match facade grant up to $5,000 to businesses located within the city, not located in the downtown area. These grants are for the purpose of improving the aesthetic appearance of the building's exterior only. That includes improvements to exterior walls, lighting, awning, windows, doors, sidewalk repairs, landscaping, and fixed exterior furnishings. We ask that you submit at least 2 cost estimates for the proposed work with your application. The application will undergo an informal review process through the Board of Control. There may be a request to make minor alterations to the proposal in order to receive the facade grant. The aim of this project is to aid with the appearance of Struthers buildings as part of an overall effort to make Struthers a destination point for the area. We invite you to be part of this exciting initiative. Please complete the form. And then it says on here, they would be no later than March 31st. A total of 5 applications will be selected for this year. So if we were to put 25,000 into, we did this a long time ago with businesses, but we don't want to include the downtown because they're already getting the grant facade money from the county from that 750.
Been
So
done a bit
this-
of that before.
Yeah.
Yes, Donavito's got it
They've got it
before,
every time.
Peck got it before,
The
I think
upholstery
Sayla's.
guy down there got it.
Yeah, so this will strictly be for places, not including the downtown, if they qualify for the money from the commissioners, then they would not qualify for this. So, and this would just be a 25,000 in a line item, and we may be able to take that 25,000 from the demo line this year and make that smaller, because we're gonna be getting reimbursed 90,000 from the county for the demo of Nick's. So,
At least we hope.
Yeah.
That's what
we
we
are
thought we were
going to
getting.
be getting the reimbursement,
We're getting closer.
yes, it's just taking longer than we
Well,
thought.
I guess my
but-
question is this, Mayor.
and-
What do we do if we do not get 5 applicants around the city? What would, we have to come up with something a little bit different?
No.
What would
No,
your plan
I
be?
mean,
Then I think we look to improve this, or maybe increase it from 5,000, or maybe make it a 60% match instead of 50. I think we just look to improve it, but I think this is something that worked before for us,
Sure.
so I think we need to bring it
Then
back
you
for
could
the
roll
other
over it
businesses.
also.
Yeah, I guess my question was, at that point, would you open it up to downtown or
But
other
No,
businesses?
yeah, my question with the downtown, well, if they're not big enough to qualify for the county, shouldn't they have the opportunity? to
Everyone
try for
is
this one?
allowed to qualify
If
for the
you're-
county.
yeah, if you're in that
Downtown.
area downtown, you qualify.
So
And
But if
that's-
a small business
that's
down there
100%.
doesn't meet the county's qualifications, but they meet this one,
They automatically, if the business is located in the downtown footprint, they're automatically included. So all they have to do is apply. We've been going through the applications, the commissioners just did a resolution for Social 22, I believe it was 26,000.
so if they apply, they're gonna get something.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
if
okay.
it,
Yeah.
as long as it's the same as these, it's
You
the
get
lighting,
two
awnings,
quotes.
windows,
Yeah.
doors.
Bob, you would know this as well. What if your business downtown is leased?
That's what I was just gonna
Your
ask.
property is leased,
They're
but you're,
actually permitting that also.
They're permitting it.
okay.
So
Because
you'll-
I think,
Go
the
ahead.
question came up with Struthers Nutrition.
Yep.
The judge was asking,
Hmm.
but yes.
They would
I was gonna say,
qualify.
for a lot of places, like on Tater down here, he has a building he rents, but not everybody else.
He would still be
And
eligible.
obviously, people up, if they were to do it in Fish Street Plaza, there's nobody buying that stuff. you know?
No, everybody rents there the same way.
Yeah. So,
But if Kafara wanted to apply for,
maybe you could give it,
but that's where the committee but that's where the committee would come into place.
to pick
Wait,
5.
listen, the improvement is the improvement.
I
mean, we're- I'm
understand.
happy
Yeah,
to,
whoever does it.
Sure.
Yeah,
And it's
man.
just, and it's something small to start off with, we can see how it goes, and if it
that's what I
makes
hate to see.
They're tough to work with too.
I mean,
Yeah.
difference, then
but
it's
if we
something we
don't,
keep
then
in
just-
play, but it's something that, this was, I think Mayor Stalker started this a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Mhm.
So it's proven to really help
Sure.
Yeah.
some of the businesses.
Yeah,
But if
people
it
have
doesn't-
definitely taken advantage of it. I
if
don't
you
mean
could
taking
get a
advantage in fact.
$10,000
but-
roof
Yeah.
for 5, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, well, that's gonna help us to keep people investing money down
Sure.
here and keep things, looking better moving forward. That's
Yeah.
kinda
What
what
is
you're
that
after.
social 22 now? What are they?
Yeah, there was
They
somebody
gutted
that
the
worked
entire
there.
building.
What are they doing?
They're getting so much redone there, the inside, the outside. The grant that they received was windows, doors, and I think something with the one
But what's gonna
side.
go
What
in?
is it gonna be?
Right now, they don't have a tenant, so they're gonna be searching for people to come in. But they're good, we really like them, the owners. They've been very cooperative, they come to all the meetings, we have great communication with them.
Good.
So a lot of I reached out to a lot of the other businesses in downtown because they haven't turned their application in yet for the facade grant, but it's because they can't get people to come and give them quotes. People just aren't showing up. So we're trying to get a list of the county's trying to get people to show up and just give quotes, that way we can get moving on this. But if they are in that downtown, like even Cut and Toast just got a resolution for them too, for, I think it was a new door. St. Anthony Bar, they applied for something. And a lot of it is doors,
Mhm.
but as long as it's facade, and it's the same things that we have. So I think maybe after this year or after 2 years, maybe we can add the downtown back to this, but I think right now they're getting, and that's not a matching grant, so they're getting 100% of that. So I think we need to,
Did Sailors get a grant for the, cause they put some really nice
he's
doors
eligible, yes.
Yeah.
on those buildings down there.
He's eligible for 3 separate grants, because
Yeah.
he's eligible for Sayla's, and he just has people coming in for the building that they bought next door, and the other,
3 buildings.
yes.
Well, good. I
Yeah.
mean,
But look at his work,
Now,
look
what
what he
about-
does to the buildings.
What
Yes.
about our building down there?
We actually are going on January 20th, we're getting a dumpster and we're gonna go try to clean up with the street department, get the sign off the front, at least clean some of the windows, cause we have a couple people who may be interested. We have a request for proposal out right now, because we wanna see if the county, with the 750, if they put money into it to fixing it, what kind of people are interested in coming. So we're gonna be sitting down, with Jared
In
Watson
that
here
Los
soon.
Galos building.
Yes. Yep, because we're not looking to make money from it, we need to make sure the right people are in there, and that it's something that's gonna succeed and something that's gonna fit with the rest of downtown. But we're, to the 20th, if you're not busy, we're gonna be there.
How's our red zone coming?
Good, I have a bunch of videos, they just finished the bathrooms.
They're constantly working up there.
Yeah.
They're, yeah, Maurice Barrett sends me videos probably one every couple days, he sends me videos of the progress. But that we're excited about too. He just purchased a cosmetology school, and he said that he may
Put it in there?
also put that in there too, because he didn't realize, he said, I didn't realize how big this building was, and to fill that space in there. And that would be great, because I think the nearest ones are Casals and Raphael's all the way down to
Right,
224,
right.
so it would be
Are
different.
are they happy with their progress there? Because they seem like they were in a really hurry to get everything done.
Yeah,
But, you know, how about the zoning part? Did we ever figure that out?
They may be just fine. And we talked with John Zamoyna about it, with how they're classified through the county. It doesn't necessarily go off of their taxes, it goes off of what the initial zoning is when they took over. So that building was already zoned commercial, so we may just have to send out a door knocker or something to the neighbors around there saying, if you have any questions, contact us, but I don't know that there's
We
anything
pretty
that we
much
could
did
do.
that, right?
yeah.
We already but I know there were other neighbors who were waiting for the public hearing and wanted to hear more, so, but him and his team are willing to come and still do that if it's
Sure, like an
necessary.
open house.
Like an open
I
house,
think that
just
would
come
be
and
a
ask
really good
questions.
thing
I think so.
after he's ready to do it.
especially
Yeah.
show them what they did with the building.
Yes.
And he wants to have, boards set up and show like what it's gonna look like when they're done, but he wants to show the progress of
Sure.
what they're doing. But they've been moving, cause he sends me, I could show you the videos, he's been sending me videos.
Yeah, good.
And
No complaints from the
downtown,
neighbors.
was it New Leaf? No,
Green leaf therapy.
they gotta be getting real close.
yeah, but I was
They're
gonna, I
like
was gonna
weeks.
ask.
They're,
They haven't reached out to you to set up ribbon cutting or anything?
No.
No, we're not there yet.
Okay.
And I think that will be one that we can try to talk them into doing like a
Free
weekend
samples.
or
Gummies.
like
Samples.
like a later one so that everybody can attend. But that's
Free
when
gummies
they
for
decide
everybody.
when they do
Yeah.
ribbon cutting. But I don't know if they're gonna be part of the Youngstown Warren Chamber, and sometimes when they do that, it's usually early in the morning on a weekend. So I don't know how they'll handle that. But
How's our
that's,
train situation been down there? Any stoppages for any long periods?
not a whole lot. My wife said she caught one today, but
Yeah,
not as bad as it used to be. But has nothing to do with us or anything else. It's basically the economy.
right.
So once economy starts picking up again, you start building trains again, we're gonna get our stoppages again. It's plain and simple. It's gonna happen.
And if you know anything about dealing with the railroad, we have no choice.
we don't have a choice.
No, you ever do?
And
I
Supreme
mean,
Court just told us we
Yeah,
don't have
you
a
do have
choice
to-
a couple months ago.
right, you deal with the railroad,
we can't
you're
even
at their
cite them
mercy.
anymore.
That,
Oh,
that's a
I
fact.
know.
That's
I
a fact.
dealt with one just on an intersection on Poland Avenue.
Yeah.
And the lady on Facebook, she had pictures and everything of how bad it was. You know, he told me, he says, do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
I
don't
think we
matter.
get a
And
lot
we
less
can't-
complaints now because we have the other Bobsine Way open. So a
Yeah.
lot of people, when they see the train,
Yeah.
they just go around, so they don't even complain anymore.
Usually it's in the fall when we get the most.
Well, truly, to be honest, it's really not that big of a hindrance. It's about 2 minutes out of your way. If you see a train,
Well,
unless
it
you're
is
stuck.
If you need to get somewhere, it's.
Well, no, I mean, I'm saying to go Bobsine Way instead of waiting
But
for
there
You're
was
probably about
also
3
the
miles
fact
out of
that
your way.
people crawling underneath it to get to their cars
Which
in the
is
parking
scary.
lot.
Because
Oh,
they're
really?
waiting- They're waiting an
From
hour and a
Dorothy.
half.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Not a
I
good
remember
idea.
years ago, there was a kid that got his leg cut off. Rough traffic.
One thing I did want to talk about today a little bit was the tax abatement, but I would say we're probably better off waiting until we have a full creel. in my opinion.
Yeah.
The way everybody gets a fair shake, it's kind of a big deal to actually speak on it. Good.
I have
As
two
long as
real
we don't
quick
forget
things.
it, right?
Yep, exactly, that's my buddy.
I have two real quick things. We had to resubmit something on our Tree City USA application. So I didn't know if you guys wanted to look over this, but it's our Ohio Tree Board annual work plan for 2022. So it basically just says tree-wise what we did and things that stand out. So I don't know if you guys want to look over that. I can make copies or
Sure.
Meg make copies. And then this year we want to put together a city calendar, so it's not like, hey, next week we're having Easter, and hey,
You
we
need
want to
photo
have,
shoot for it?
yes.
Is that what you're saying?
So we want to kind of have I have fire and spaghetti dinner is going to be March 4th. And these are dates that I have to set, but if there's anything that you guys can think of that I can add to this calendar that I don't have on here, call me, text me, let me know. But I have fireman spaghetti dinner, Easter, we have our Arbor Day thing, we have the tree contest, Civics Day, the cleanup in May, the Scene Park celebration with the fireworks, garage sale weekend, the clean out day in October, Build-A-Bed. This year we're gonna do a Christmas parade. We're gonna have a committee for that, so I'm gonna need somebody from
That's
council
awesome.
to be on that. John McCoy has been sending me
No, it's a great idea.
helpful hints for the last
No,
couple
that-
weeks.
I think that's awesome.
And then we're still doing the Christmas lights, and that won't be at Mothing or anything. We're just gonna simply meet here, take the van like we did last time. We were done in an hour and 10 minutes, so that will just be, that date is already set, because we wanted to set that with the school to try to get the band
You
down.
get Taste of Struthers on there?
No,
Taste of
but that's
Struthers.
Rotary, so I don't wanna
Oh.
put that on the city calendar, but it got changed to, Taste of Struthers is gonna be April 17th, it's a Monday.
Okay.
Because the issue we were having was people don't have workers.
When are
And a
you
lot of those
starting?
people are closed on Mondays, so.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
When are you selling tickets?
we are not there yet, Mr. Berger's.
Well,
coming
just
in
make
next
sure
week.
you drop me down.
But yes, absolutely, but we can put that, I guess because it's a Struthers
Well, here's the
event,
thing, we don't
but
wanna,
it's hosted by Rotary, because then if we put this down.
You're gonna
then
be
we
ugly and
all
put
the
10 other things down.
5013
but
Cs
here's
on
the thing
there.
though,
Mm.
you also don't wanna schedule something Struthers wise that's in conflict with this, the wine taste or anything
Sure.
else. So it's at least good to know those dates.
But if anybody has dates for their nonprofit, we can always upload them to the city calendar and put that on there. Like,
Okay.
any fundraisers or anything like that, we can do that, but these are more or less like the city sponsored, like what we put on. And then the music and movies in the park, we're gonna meet with next week with Jim and,
You have Easter egg hunt on there?
yeah. That's
Can I,
up there.
can I ask that maybe you add, council committee meetings and regular meetings on the calendar for
I think
people?
they are, aren't they?
Are they, I don't know
They're
if
already
they,
on there.
are they
They're on
already
they're on the website, on the city calendar.
Okay.
Yep,
How about our civics days at on there?
yep,
When is that this year?
we don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
How about my birthday, is that
This isn't all about you, Jim.
one? No?
But if
Days
you-
of
and
celebration.
It's coming up.
Coming up?
If you have any suggestions or have any dates or anything that we need to add, and then when we post this or when we get this on to Facebook and say this is our city calendar, and we can put on there, if anybody has any fundraisers or anything they want us to add, they can send an email to me and we can add it to the calendar, so we can do that way too. But it has to be a city nonprofit or a city
Yeah.
This will
business,
be
it
on our
has to, can't
website
be
then?
everybody. Yeah, this'll be, yeah. But so that you guys know too, and, cause I gotta be it's an election year this year, so we have to be more organized with the date part of it, from my office, because we can't say, okay, next month we're having cleanup on this day, and everybody's like, what? So I'd rather have the dates set ahead of time, like even, there's certain things that we need to like, what's the one, or we need to, Easter, like we need to get make sure we can use the football field. So those are requests we have to put in
Yeah.
early so that we have them done. So I'd rather have this all done ahead of time and not being last minute, hey, we gotta do this. I just gotta be more organized when it comes to this stuff.
Very good.
Well, we still are supposed to get our code of, like, whatever. How's that going?
That is with Mike and Zamoyda.
I know they talked about doing it after the holidays, so I
Yeah,
don't know
John was
where.
supposed to work on it this
Okay.
John had asked that he have a bigger hand in
That
crafting it.
Okay,
Mike basically crafted the first one, and John thought that legally there were things that he should do.
Sure.
So he wanted to kind of craft his own,
Yeah,
and
that
then
makes sense.
go over it
Yeah.
with Mike, then they'll bring it to council. And last time we had heard anything, John had asked, let me get started on it after the holidays, so.
okay.
I would say if we don't hear anything in the next few weeks, we should bring it up at that point and see where we're at.
We won't forget it.
Let's not forget
Jot it
that,
down,
though.
Lori.
Wow, that's
You
been going on
guys-
for months.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
guys want copies of these, I can have Megan, the grant thing and the tree thing.
The grant thing, I definitely
Okay.
could take a copy of that.
And this, again, this was just for discussion, because we'll get into this when we go through the budget and everything, but just wanted to
Sure.
talk about it.
Yeah, well,
I
I
mean, we
definitely
have-
think we have to hit those small businesses,
Yeah,
Mhm.
because if we're gonna hit the bigger,
I
yeah,
agree.
and everything's always so downtown oriented, because it's
yeah.
the
We're
part that needs
focusing
to be
on it.
rehabilitated so
But
badly.
there's a lot of places around that
Could use help,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
very good.
I still say the train is the biggest deterrent down there than anything.
It
You
is, it is.
Yeah, the
and-
railroad
it
tracks,
is.
absolutely.
I'll be honest, I think it's a parking issue, a lot of it. And I know
Well,
people don't
they-
really
They
think,
even said that there wasn't no parking.
I know that,
problem
but you
down there.
live here and you go down there, you don't think there's a parking issue?
Oh, I think there is, but
Well, I think there is, and I think that their stance on it was, there is currently a parking issue. But I think that what they were saying is, there is space to have parking, we just
They're
don't.
also including Donna Vito's parking lot, but they don't realize Donna Vito's.
Don Vito's
not
leases
off of
that, yes,
Right.
But I
correct.
think
You know.
once we get viable businesses and we fill all those empty vacant buildings and create more commerce down there, I
Parking's only
think
gonna get
parking
tighter.
will be an issue. But we are working with Caslo, they received a $495,000 grant to remediate the rest of that entranceway right behind Solomona Valley, so they are putting parking in right there. I think it's 60 spots.
Well, that's
Oh, that's
So I
good.
can bring that diagram in the next
Did
council
they ever
meeting.
do the little park by the river down there, like they were gonna do? Why?
I don't know.
I thought we got grant funding for that, or we got grants. Yeah, we got grant funding for that, didn't we?
I think they applied for it, I don't know that they got it. That was a couple of years ago, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was prior to you. Prior
Oh,
to your
no.
administration. Yeah.
Well, you know about that.
But the parking lot is
We're gonna put a
going-
gazebo down there.
So right
and all
now,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
so right now the parking lot is going in that, basically that same little area that they were talking about.
Yeah,
Not covering the whole area, but if you put parking in where they say it's going to go, you'd still have room on the other side for a small green space.
Yeah, and they
Where we
are-
have the garden,
Mhm.
right now, the butterfly garden in Castle. There's a butterfly garden, so you still have that space for a green space if they put. the
you're
parking.
talking about closest to the river, by
Yes.
building A.
Yes. That's
And
where,
he talks
that's
about
where the parking lot's
putting a
going.
walking
It's-
bridge over the railroad tracks?
Wait, where, the parking,
The parking lot is going where that little swell is.
right behind Solomona Valley,
Yeah,
that area.
but it's
'Cause they
going,
wanna
but
improve
it's
that
going inside the
out.
fence.
Inside the fence.
fenced
They're
area.
Yes,
taking, all
the
the
fence will
fencing
come
is
down.
coming
Yeah,
down,
okay.
they're gonna
Exactly.
create a stair,
Put
a
a big wildcat
step
up
down
there.
so that you can, they really wanna focus
Yeah.
on that alleyway.
Yeah.
And making that more of
Okay.
a safe, lighted,
So,
well lit.
yeah.
If you get that parking there, and I'm gonna sound like a repeat here, but if we get our traffic upgraded downtown where we have crosswalks, where people can park there, walk out,
Feel
walk
safe.
down the sidewalk, which is a short walk from Simona Valley to Salas is not a long walk.
No,
So if you park in Simona Valley, you can walk to Salas, you can walk to Donavito's.
well,
Safe.
But if you're gonna cross the street, it'd be nice to have a
well, the
crosswalk.
truth is, when you get into bigger downtowns, you go to downtown Youngstown, you might have to walk 2 blocks to
Yes.
get where you're going.
That's
But it ain't a
the
big deal,
mindset,
that's
yeah.
what you
That's
got.
what you
There's
do.
enough commerce down there, there's enough well-lit area, there's enough all of that, that it's not a big deal. That would be phenomenal
And
to
that's
have
our
here.
overall goal down the road,
To
is to
change
create
that
the same
mindset.
thing.
Yeah.
Be great to have that on-street parking.
No, we've been advised to take that on-street parking off.
They
What is that?
recommend,
Safety-wise.
for safety, the safety study says that if you narrow your street where it's not so wide, you slow down traffic. So right now, a big thing is people fly through downtown. They'll go, and I'm not exaggerating, people will go through downtown 40, 50 miles an hour. But if we narrow this street, put in bike trails on each side, make the street narrower, people will slow down.
Yeah, because they don't even stop coming from that end and
Right.
turning right
The only issue I see with
on-
that,
onto Poland Avenue. They don't even stop, even if they got a red light.
the only issue I generally really see with that, and you'd have to agree with this, we get so much semi-traffic through six
We want to
sixteen
try to reroute that too.
narrowing those streets in any way would seem to
So-
be an issue.
And I,
We have Lolly Pipe,
Yeah.
you see what comes through there, Astro shapes.
so, when we had the traffic study done, that was brought up, and they take that all into account. They actually, because they mentioned bumping out the curb in front of Struthers Nutrition, pushing that curb out further. And I mentioned about the trucks and everything else.
People
They-
clip that corner
And they
all
said
the
they
time
got
anyway.
software and everything that can judge how much space they need for a semi to go through there.
They can't judge how good those semi-truck drivers are, or not, but that corner gets clipped a lot. Not only that, a lot of times if you're down there, and I'm down there a lot because my building is down there, you will have to see people actually have to move their car back. So the
Yes.
semi-truck could actually make the
Yeah.
turn, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that would be the only thing I see as an actual issue.
Yeah, I don't argue with them too much. They seem to have a higher degree of education than I do, and they have the like I said, they have software programs that
And that
plan
would,
all this out.
that would go with the lights too.
Yeah.
So, and
It'd
where
be-
they would have to stop with the lights would be back further. It wouldn't be all the way up to, they showed us everything. It was pretty extensive. And the woman that did ours, through EDG, she does a lot of the writing and everything for ODOT.
That's
So she's pretty,
that is a couple years down the way.
Yeah.
Just because we have a project this year, everybody knows about the Elm Street Center Street. And next year, it looks like it's gonna be the Wetmore Drive Bridge.
Yep.
So we're probably looking at 2025 fiscal year for ODOT before we can apply for this $1.6 million upgrade to downtown.
but they did use the study and they're gonna be applying to several different grants by I think one of them was even by the end of January.
Right.
For the lights and things, so
And I know the lights will be beneficial and it will help with the turns and everything else. But my bigger concern is if we want to grow to downtown, we got to make it pedestrian friendly with the crosswalks. I don't know how do you even think about crossing the street at 616 and State Street? It's a very wide intersection. If you don't have a light telling you when to cross, it could be.
Yeah, I'd agree
you
with
know,
that.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%.
and the lights alone, they would go with the railroad, so they would all sync together, but the lights alone are $250,000 each, and we need 3 of them.
That's crazy.
But it'll fix
I mean, for that, we could get Bob's Bridge over the train tracks.
Like the ones in Vegas, like you
I
said.
just said, like,
Pretty big wildcat.
You know, the seat for
You're talking
Caesar's
about-
over to, across the street.
Honestly,
You realize
Put a
if
big
you put
wildcat in
anything
it.
over a railroad track or under a railroad track, you pay a yearly fee for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
why? Because they own the space.
I don't know
The
how
city of
anybody can own
Struthers
airspace.
has to pay every year because we have pipes going from our wastewater treatment plant.
Through their basically their easement.
Yep. So we pay every year. It's just figured into the cost of doing business.
I hear that. Okay. Anything else? Can we call for adjournment?
Motion adjourned.